So what about people that have maybe been burying their, something terrible happened and they've just been
Yeah,
burying.
this is trauma. Yeah, this happens all the time.
So how do they safely let it kind of move through them if it's like been re-traumatizing them for years?
Yeah, I mean, people have different ways of looking at that, but I think, that's why people need help because they need somebody else to hold the space that's safe for them, which is where we come in,
And you
right?
feel like breath work is the strongest way to help people with that?
No, I mean, it usually comes into play, but what's important is that they sort of, I mean, I think, people, when they let the balloon out slowly, are able to handle it, right? So they have sort of like lots and lots of mini sort of recognitions, breakdowns, experiences, even if they're intense, but they're not the whole thing. And they are completely clear that they're in an environment where they're being held, you know what I mean? Where they're safe, even if it doesn't feel like that to them. So, you know, just that. I mean, there's a lot of, it's interesting because massage therapists talk about this a lot because people have big experiences on their massage table, but they're not purposely doing any kind of trauma work, right? They're just, sort of holding a space for the person where they can, sort of physically let out their trauma, right? But they're not doing any particular techniques or, you know what I mean? But in the massage community, there's a lot of talk of that because massage therapists experience this and they talk about how to just sort of like hold the space and keep it super safe, And so we do that, except we give people practices to not only experience these things and sort of let them out, as you're saying, but then also reground themselves, because that's what gives you confidence, right? You have an experience, you relive a trauma, say, and then you do a practice that regrounds you. So you might not feel awesome,
Breath.
right? But you feel like, oh, wow, I experienced that, because the experience of the trauma, right, is not that. The experience of the trauma is
Oh yeah.
you experience the trauma and then it was bad from then on. Like there's no point where you got regrounded. So now you're creating a new storyline where I experienced the trauma, or re-experience the trauma on some level, and now I'm okay. Like I can take care of myself. That's like hugely healing, as you can imagine.